Horrific events in Orlando, Florida Sunday. A gunman opened fire at a popular nightclub. Now authorities continue to identify the dead.
A Huntington County woman charged because police say she faked cancer for monetary gain.
And police say a Cambria County family returns to find things stolen from their house. Police say that crime was done by someone they knew.
6 News. Coverage you can count on. Starts now.
Thanks for being here. We begin with a terror attack in Orlando, Florida. 49 people are dead, plus the suspected gunman, and 53 more are hurt.
The attack happened early Sunday morning at the Pulse nightclub. That's a popular gay club in that city. Right now, authorities continue to identify the dead from what's being called the worst mass shooting in U.S. history. The probe into the gunman's motive is ramping up. Police are investigating his ties with ISIS and whether anyone else is involved. Today, the director of the FBI says the gunman had, in his words, strong indications of radicalization and was likely inspired by foreign terrorist organizations. Meantime, the FBI is saying it's investigated the gunman for 10 months, beginning in May of 2013.
Amid the news of the horrific events in Orlando, words like fun-loving, happy, and amazing are emerging as friends and families of the shooting victims remember their loved ones. Here's Erica Edwards.
This was the scene inside Pulse nightclub before the shooting. The club was packed.
It was my first night at the bar. Found out it was Latin night, and I don't know Spanish, but I stayed.
Chris Hansen ended up helping carry the wounded from the largest mass shooting in U.S. history. Dozens shot, 49 lost their lives. 34-year-old Edward Sotomayor was one of those who died, known as Eddie to his friends and remembered as an angel, a popular, fun-loving guy whose top hats made others smile.
He totally loved to party with the people, and that was his. He was top hat Hetty.
Fun-loving is also how Gertrude Merced remembers her son, Enrique Rios. Rios lived in New York and went to Orlando for a quick weekend trip.
He had a heart for the elderly. He loved taking care of them. He lived with his grandma because he wanted to take care of her.
Also among the dead, Luis Fielma, Eric Ortiz, and Stanley Almodovar. 37-year-old Kimberly K.J. Morris worked as a bouncer at the club. Friends called her an amazing woman. Morris posted this picture just weeks ago with a caption reading simply, "Thankful." It's the exact sentiment of Angel Colon. His son was shot multiple times at the club, but is expected to survive.
God protected you. God's giving you another chance. That's what I told him.
Erica Edwards, NBC News.
Following the mass shooting, Senator Bob Casey has unveiled legislation that would ban gun sales to those who commit misdemeanor hate crimes.
The Hate Crimes Prevention Act is very simple, but it attacks a significant problem. You would be denied the use of a gun if you've been convicted of a misdemeanor hate crime.
The Hate Crimes Prevention Act denies the use of a gun to anyone who has been convicted of a misdemeanor hate crime under federal, state, or tribal law who are found to be motivated by hate or bias against the victim's race, color, religion, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, gender identity, or disability.
Penn State holding a vigil tonight to stand in solidarity with the victims of the attack in Orlando. It begins at 6 on the steps of Old Main. The event will include several speakers as well as a moment of silence to honor those who were killed or wounded in the shooting. And tonight you can watch a special 1-hour broadcast of NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. The broadcast focuses on the Orlando shooting. It airs here beginning at 6:30 tonight. And also tonight, our special Your Voice, Your Town Town Hall, or Your Voice, Your Future Town Hall, will discuss a closer examination of terrorism in the country. It will air tonight on MeTV starting at 7.
In the meantime, do you believe the FBI is being aggressive enough in finding terrorists in the U.S.? Head to WJACTV.com and let us know. You can also like Facebook and post your comments on our timeline.
And this evening we are looking at, well, a few clouds that have tried to build in across northern Pennsylvania. So far, maybe a couple of sprinkles can't be ruled out across northern parts of the state as well. But areas south of the Turnpike still looking at some sunshine this evening and pretty pleasant weather out there. The breeze is much more on the lighter side today compared to where they were back 24 hours ago. Check out our temperatures today, running close to 70 to 75 degrees in Altoona, State College, Clearfield. Obviously, the clouds starting to thicken a bit, putting a lid on some of that warmth. Johnstown is at 66 degrees and DuBois a comfortable 65. Now here's where we go for you on Tuesday. Looking at sunshine still remaining in there, maybe a couple of more clouds for Tuesday afternoon, but temperature wise, we're forecasting readings to make their way back into the mid 70s, potentially reaching the 80s for midweek, along with some showers and storms. We'll look at that, of course, coming up.
A Huntington County woman faces theft charges. She's accused of faking cancer and scamming a local nonprofit. And Aaron Calandra has those details tonight. Aaron?
Marty, not quite as extensive as the Brandy Weaver Gates case, but police say this woman faked cancer for about a year, scamming hundreds of dollars from a small nonprofit organization in rural Huntington County. State police charged 38-year-old Miranda Zinoble of Three Springs this morning. They say she contacted the No One Fights Alone cancer organization in January 2015. She allegedly told them she was battling ovarian cancer and needed money for chemotherapy drugs. Police say the organization handed over about $800 from January through October 2015. That's when the organization says they realized they were being duped. Now the woman who runs the cancer organization, Candy Witzel, says she's angry.
I have people that help me, and support me all the time. They needed to know. I cannot let this go. I mean, you just can't fake cancer. We're all fighting for the same thing. And for somebody to play this one off is not going to go.
Now, police say not only did Zinoble fake cancer and scam this organization, they say she was also hiding this fake diagnosis from her family. We'll have more on that coming up at 6 o'clock. For now, live in State College, Aaron Calandra, 6 News.
A Somerset County teenager died this morning. Police say farm equipment hit the 16-year-old on the head along Lower Road, that's in Greenville Township. Somerset 911 says that the boy had already passed when an ambulance arrived. A warning about suspicious activity in Huntington County. They say on Friday, 2 juvenile girls ran to a neighbor's home in McConnellstown after they saw a white van driving slowly past them. Police say the van passed the girls twice before they ran to get help. The driver of the van didn't do anything criminal, but authorities do say that the girls did the right thing by seeking help. If you have information, you're asked to contact police.
Is retroactivity for civil lawsuits constitutional? That's a question state senators were trying to answer over the battle of the statute of limitations in child sex abuse cases.
The House previously passed a bill in April making civil suits retroactive. The bill came out after a grand jury investigation of the Diocese of Altoona Johnstown. And 6 News Investigates' Cody Leibowitz is live in Harrisburg tonight. Cody?
Jen, yeah, that hearing lasted 3 hours in a Senate committee room, which was packed with victims, people supporting the bill, and people against that bill, which passed in the House, as you mentioned, back in April. But the entire hearing was trying to answer one question. Is it legal to go retroactive and to pass something retroactive for civil suits? But another question came up after the meeting. Did victims' voices get a fair chance to be heard?
I have to ask myself here today, are we looking at collusion at a state level, setting up failure for the victims of this Commonwealth?
That was Representative Mark Rozzi, who added the amendment to House Bill 1947, allowing retroactivity for civil suits. As you mentioned before, in April, it passed overwhelmingly, 180 to 15. Now today, multiple speakers said that retroactivity would be unconstitutional, citing case law from a 1908 state Supreme Court case. Those speakers included Bruce Castor, the Solicitor General for the Attorney General's office. He called the bill, as it is right now, unconstitutional, but said the state could remove what's known as the Remedies Clause. That clause protects those who are injured, and if that was taken out, it would pass the bill as is, according to Castor. Also, speakers representing the Catholic Conference and insurance companies spoke against the bill. Now, after the hearing, supporters of the bill and victims of child sexual abuse rallied outside of the state capitol. Marcy Hamilton, a professor at the University of Pennsylvania and expert on constitutionality, was the lone speaker in support of the bill. She says the bill would hold up in courts, and it's a question for the court to decide, not the legislative branch. She said right now the state is stuck in mediocrity in terms of laws for victims.
37 states have eliminated the criminal statute of limitations, and half the states have either lengthened or they have created retroactive civil statutes of limitations. And so, yes, at this point, Pennsylvania is solidly mediocre for the victims of sex abuse.
Thank you. Now, I did speak with Representative Rozzi after that rally and after the hearing at 6. Hear why they only had one speaker speak in support of the bill, and why supporters of the bill say there's a conflict of interest with the Judiciary Chairman. Live at the state capitol, Cody Leibowitz, 6 News.
A Johnstown man is charged because police say he assaulted 2 juveniles. Police say James Park Jr. assaulted the children, both under the age of 12, at the Oakhurst Homes Friday. Authorities say Parks Jr. grabbed the girl and her brother, and he faces a number of charges tonight.
A truck driver from Altoona, missing since last week, has been found dead. Police say Barry Glass was found inside his tractor trailer on Sunday in California. Authorities say Glass's truck was parked at a Shell truck terminal and had been there for a number of days. An investigation is continuing. A suburban Johnstown family came home from an extended stay out of town to find they were victims of a burglary.
Police say their home had been broken into 7 times while they were gone, and as Erica Stanish reports, guns and jewelry were taken. Police say by someone the family knew. Erica?
Marty, Jen, police say nearly $14,000 worth of items were stolen and sold to a gold buyer for what police believe to be used for drug money. Now, police say the suspects didn't just do this once, but they did it over and over again. And they say that the victims even knew one of the suspects.
Yes, they were very disappointed, and at the time of the burglary, they both felt that, she had some involvement.
That's what a Johnstown family tells police after finding out someone they knew, a family friend, stole from their home while they were out of town. It all started when police got a call from a coin dealer saying 2 people were in almost daily bringing in jewelry and coins. Police say 20-year-old Mariah Weeks and 27-year-old Ronald Ciccanelli Jr. went to a coin buyer in Richland 7 times. They say the couple claimed the items they had were their own, and in return getting just over $1,000.
People that have a drug addiction, they'll compromise their integrity, to obtain, funds, however they can get their hands on it to supply their habit.
The victims were out of town for about 2 months, where police say Mariah Weeks would text them, saying she missed them and asking when they would be home. Earrings, necklaces, watches, coins, and other money were all stolen from the family's home on Fayette Street.
Crime knows no boundary lines.
Police say 2 handguns, 2 televisions, and wine were also stolen from the home, altogether totaling nearly $14,000. Police say one of the stolen handguns were found last week.
They were recovered by the Johnstown Police Department at an accident scene on Highland Avenue. Black male subject fled the scene and dropped the weapon, which was later found to be the weapon that was stolen in this burglary.
Police say Weeks and Ciccanelli both were arrested and found with heroin. Weeks and Ciccanelli are both in the Cambria County Jail tonight, facing multiple charges, including burglary and theft. Reporting live in Johnstown, Erica Stanish, 6 News.
Still ahead, the price you have to pay to go fishing in the state is going up.
Plus, an Iowa family standing behind the father of a child who died when he was left in a hot car.